Really is Lamont Roach, bro. And what was his early life like? He was born in Washington, D.C., but he was raised in Upper Marlboro, a city in Maryland. Lamont Roach didn't touch his first bag until he was 9 years old, bro, when his dad took him to the No Excuse Boxing Club. And this is where he learned the basics of the sport and ultimately gained his love for boxing. These two right here are Lamont Roach's parents. This is Lamont Roach Sr., who still trains Lamont Roach today. And this is Lamont Roach's mother here, Tia Roach. And ultimately, the reason why Tank let Lamont make it to the end of the fight. But anyway, back to the story. Lamont Roach has two siblings. He has a younger brother, Jordan Roach, who also boxes, by the way. Here's Jordan's box trick right here. And this young lady right here is his sister, Taylor Roach. Bro, by the time Lamont got to middle school, bro, he was training very seriously, man. He was training upwards of 5 times a week, bro. He was taking it very seriously. Lamont was a 2-time National Golden Gloves champ for juniors, National PAL champ, and 5-time ringside world champ, bro. This man was going crazy, man. And this is the footage right here from 2010 when him and Gervonta Davis actually fought, bro. Gervonta got gold and Roach got silver. They were both ranked number 1 and 2 nationally, bro. So Roach is a hell of a contender, man. Roach had a very impressive amateur record, man, boasting 125 wins and 15 losses. 2 of those losses coming by Tank, man. Also, when him and Tank fought, Roach was 15 and Tank was 16 at the time. 3 years later, 2013, Roach actually won his National Golden Gloves Championship. And he was also USA Boxing Youth National Champ as well. And 1 year later, before his pro debut, he was signed to Golden Boy, man, becoming part of Oscar's team. So in 2014 at 18 years old, Lamont will make his pro debut, where he got a unanimous decision. And it was over Victor Galindo. And he was in school, man, for actually mechanical engineering, following in his father's footsteps, just in case boxing didn't work out. And bro, he was a terror in the pros, man. He was undefeated until 2019, where he suffered his first loss to Jamel Herring. But that's okay, man. He was there to be great. He was going for the WBO super featherweight belt. Over the next couple of years, bro actually had to do a lot of reflecting, man. That first loss is always the worst one. So he did that. After dusting himself off and getting his mind together, bro, he went ahead and captured his own title, man, in 2023 over Hector Luis Garcia, making him the WBA super featherweight champ. And as we all know, man, he just fought Tank this past weekend. It ended in a draw. It was a good fight, honestly. I can't even be mad at it. And bro, who knows what's next for Roach? Hopefully we get that rematch. Hey, if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching the video. Leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Floyd Mayweather has reportedly been working with Lamont Roach, helping him prepare for his upcoming rematch with Gervonta "Tank" Davis. This could give Roach an advantage, especially since he's already faced Davis before. With Mayweather's guidance, Roach may be able to exploit some of Tank's weaknesses, sending a clear message that Davis is in for a tough fight this time around. Lamont Roach has stood out in the boxing world since the beginning of his career, with a strong amateur background. He built a solid foundation that has helped to become a dangerous contender in the professional ring. His technical skills, discipline, and work ethic have always made him a tough opponent for anyone in the lightweight division. Interestingly, Roach and Davis have history. When Roach was just 16, he sparred with Davis, giving him an early understanding of Tank's fighting style. This experience helped shape Roach into the fighter he is today. Now, as a lightweight champion, Roach is getting more attention, especially after his performance against Davis. Fans and analysts are starting to recognize his skills, and they're seeing him as a serious contender. His rematch with Davis is his chance to prove that he belongs among the best in the sport.
For any suspicious opponents on Lamont Roach record, he's 25-1 with 10 big wins coming by the way of knockout, my people. He's in the super featherweight division. He's ranked number 14 in the world and number 3 in the USA, my people. He has a WBA title right now in the super featherweight division. He's fighting Gervonta Davis in December, but you know we got to check how he even got there and how he started his career. His pro debut, he went against Victor. He was 1-3. That's fine. It's your pro debut. First fight as a professional. You feel me? I ain't gonna get at you. Next person was 1-6. Alright, I mean, we ain't do better, but it's your second fight. Like, fourth person was 0-1. That was a little sussy because he ended up 0-10. He never won a day in his life. So he never got his hand raised in a boxing match. You feel me? And then the next person, he stepped it up, though. He went to undefeated. It's only 2 fights, but he was 2-0. Then 12-9, that's a journeyman. I'm not going to lie. 4-2, 3-4, these are looking good. 8-5, that's a journeyman in the making. He got a winner.
Lamont Roach has worked his way up through the ranks, firmly establishing himself as a strong force in the lightweight division. As the current WBA champion, he has proven he can compete at the highest level. His impressive career has earned him a spot as the 14th best boxer in the world and the 3rd best in the USA, showing his consistency and skill. Roach has faced tough opponents, never shying away from challenges. His ability to adapt and overcome difficult fighters has been one of his strongest traits. Winning the WBA lightweight title was a major achievement in his career, confirming his place among boxing's elite. But Roach isn't satisfied with just holding the belt. He wants to keep proving himself against the best. His upcoming rematch with Tank Davis gives him the chance to showcase his skills on a bigger stage and earn even more respect in the boxing world. Roach is motivated and ready to give everything in the ring. With his track record and determination, he's more driven than ever to build his legacy. A win over Davis would only solidify his position as a dominant force in the lightweight division.
So you think you dominate Tank?
I think I dominate any of them. If you really look at it, if you gotta really tap in on this, look at the resume, all that extra, whatever. There's a certain limit that you hit, right? But then there's that next criteria or that next top tier. And if you don't match that, you never gonna know how great you really are. And I've done that a few amount of times already. I jumped out that box and done that. So I have yet to see Gervonta come out of that box yet. You know what I'm saying? They're about to put him with a guy at 130 pounds. Whether he's a champion or not, you're getting a guy lighter than you to come up and weight to make you look good again.
Teofimo Lopez has openly criticized Gervonta Davis's knockout record, questioning the quality of his opponents. He said, "I think a lot of people focus on the knockouts, but who is he knocking out? They're not top-level fighters." Lopez believed that Davis is yet to face truly elite competition, implying that his knockouts may not be as impressive as they seem. He boldly stated that Davis has never fought anyone like him, adding to his confidence and skepticism about Tank's standing in the boxing world.
I don't know Lamont Roach, but when you look at Shakur Stevenson, when you're looking at these other fighters that he should really be fighting, he don't want to do them fights. He wants to retire.
Yeah.
So don't come but don't come and come at me.
Yeah.
And go, oh yeah, let's give it all, Barry Big Bollocks, and go, oh yeah, let's give him some stick, and then make out like we want the fight. And then we send an offer over, and then you fight for 15 million, and yet you fight Lamont Roach. Don't do all that. Do you know what I mean?
It was a real offer. That was true then.
It was a real offer. We offered. I said, listen, you keep talking my promoter's going to get back to you in 48 hours. 50 minutes. Initial offer sent over. But was it Unquile didn't let him out to play? His boss didn't let him out. That's it. So he wants to talk about 50 million. First offer.
There was room to negotiate.
Of course there was. But he's an idiot. I don't even know if he knows what negotiating means.
Even though Tank Davis received a big offer to fight Conor Benn, he chose to face Lamont Roach instead, thinking it would be an easier fight. Many fans and analysts shared this opinion. Given that Roach, a natural lightweight, was moving up in weight to face Tank. Considering Davis's knockout power and Roach's smaller frame, most expected a dominant performance from the Baltimore fighter. However, the fight didn't go as expected. Instead of an easy win, Davis found himself struggling against Roach's technical skills, defense, and strategy. Roach, despite being from a lower weight class, was well prepared and exposed weaknesses in Tank's approach. This led many to say that it was one of Davis's worst performances to date. The expectation was that Tank would cruise to victory, but he was met with a fighter who wasn't backing down. Davis's poor showing sparked criticism, with some questioning whether he underestimated Roach or if his skills are starting to decline.
Year or in boxing, there's obviously been a hurdle. Will he get through the second fight, Gervonta?
Maybe not. I think he's had a result, to be honest with you, because one, he should have lost the fight. He should have had a point deducted. There's no doubt about that. But two, people criticised the Roach fight. I knew it would be a good fight because we know Roach is a good fighter, but people in boxing know that Roach is a good fighter. Now it's giving him another fight. Because if he would have beaten Roach, he's kind of backed in a corner to fight Shakur Stevenson, I think. But now he's got a rematch that's actually much bigger than the first fight. So, yeah, I think he'll be more switched on for this maybe, but Roach is a good fighter. It won't be...
Promoter Eddie Hearn has always shown respect for Lamont Roach Jr.'s abilities, even when others were skeptical before the December 14th, 2024 fight between Tank Davis and Roach. Hearn defended Roach's credentials, saying, "Lamont Roach is a good fighter. The problem is, no one knows who he is. With Tank's position in the sport, people want him in big fights, but this isn't one of them." The fight ended in majority draw, with controversy surrounding a ninth-round incident where Davis appeared to take a knee, but no knockdown was called. Hearn remarked that if a fighter takes a knee while punches are being thrown, it should be considered a knockdown. While Hearn didn't directly say Davis should have lost, he made it clear that he believes Roach's performance deserved more recognition, and that the incident in the ninth round should have been ruled a knockdown.
Do you will come back to boxing?
Oh no. I'm not coming back to the sport of boxing. The sport of boxing was good to me. I was able to make a lot of smart investments on the outside, and I just want to help. Like I said, the fighters that's up and coming. Like I was talking about, like Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't understand why he's not in the top 10 pound for pound. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. Benavidez. The list goes on. There's so many tough fighters out there. So many great young champions out there that I'm proud.
Floyd Mayweather has always been passionate about mentoring younger fighters, helping them reach their full potential. One of his biggest success stories is Gervonta Davis. Mayweather played a huge role in Davis's early career, guiding him with his experience and knowledge, helping him become a boxing star known for his power and skill. However, Davis has since moved away from Mayweather Promotions, choosing to manage his career independently. Since then, Mayweather has turned his attention to other promising fighters, including Lamont Roach Jr. The two faced off in a controversial fight that ended in a majority draw. Many believed Roach should have been credited with a knockdown in the ninth round when Davis appeared to take a knee. Eddie Hearn, a respected promoter, has also spoken highly of Roach, defending his talent and acknowledging that Roach was always a great fighter, even when others doubted him.
You train 6 weeks before the fight, and Floyd Mayweather messed these boxers up thinking that they could only train 6 weeks before the fight and then they'll be good. Y'all remember when Floyd said that? Give me 6 weeks, I'll beat him.
Floyd Mayweather's influence on younger fighters has always been a topic of discussion. His approach emphasizes defense, precision, and calculated risk-taking, which worked exceptionally well for him during his undefeated career. However, some critics believe this style might not suit every fighter. Lamont Roach Jr., however, seems to be benefiting from aspects of Mayweather's philosophy. His recent performances show improved defensive skills, sharper counterpunching, and better movement in the ring. This raises questions about whether Roach is now working with Mayweather or at least drawing influence from him. With Davis no longer under Mayweather's promotional banner, it could add an interesting dynamic to their rivalry. If Roach has truly adopted Mayweather's strategies, the rematch with Davis could be a battle of styles. Davis's aggressive knockout power against Roach's developing defensive skills. Some critics, however, question Mayweather's training methods, suggesting his fighters sometimes lack the endurance needed for long, tough fights. Mayweather believes that skill and strategy outweigh long training camps, but some trainers argue that physical conditioning is crucial for stamina and power in the later rounds. As Roach prepares for a potential rematch with Davis, it remains to be seen whether Mayweather's influence will help or hinder him.
I have to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win is doing just enough to get a draw. So I have to push harder. I have to train harder. I have to be more mean. I have to be more physical. I have to do a lot. I have to do everything just a little more. And I think that will definitely put me over the hump. And I'm more than motivated to get back in there, get back in the camp, and work hard so I can secure a victory over a pound for pound fighter, in which I believe that I am myself.
Lamont Roach is more determined than ever as he prepares for a potential rematch against Tank Davis. The controversy from their first fight has only fueled his motivation. Roach believes he did enough to win the first fight, but the judges didn't see it that way. Now, he's focused on making sure there's no doubt about the outcome. Roach has openly said that he needs to push himself harder this time. He's committed to improving every part of his game, from footwork to power to endurance. I have to take myself to another level, he said. He's putting in extra hours at the gym, studying his mistakes and refining his strategy. Roach's goal is to dominate the rematch and leave no room for controversy. His renewed determination shows he's fully committed to proving that he belongs at the top of the division.
Is that true? You did want to see him get some work with Boots? I saw in the interview. Yeah, I'm gonna call Boots. You gonna call him? I'm gonna call him. What? They say they what? They say that. Shit, that's right up the road. That's right up the road. Look, obviously, Tank doing. Obviously, Tank cracking. Oops, cracking.
Roach is looking for top-level sparring partners to help him prepare for his rematch with Davis. He's seeking opponents who can replicate Davis's aggressive yet technical style, challenging him to improve his reflexes and adapt to pressure. This kind of preparation will help him neutralize Tank's explosiveness and give him the edge he needs to secure a victory.
Like I said, in boxing, at the end of the day, Lamont Roach is a world champion at the end of the day. Like I said, the whole thing about Lamont Roach is that he could fight, and you can't overlook anybody, especially not at the top level. Everybody knows how to fight, and Tank and Lamont Roach have been acquainted with each other since they were young fighters. And, you know, just coming up in the game and knowing each other, the comfortability, that's still something that could threaten one another. But I feel like Tank will come out on top at the end of the day. But Lamont might give people, you know, a tougher fight than he might.
Speaking on that though, like you fought guys early in your amateur career, right? And then you fight them now. Do you already know what to expect, or is there somewhat of an evolution?
No, it's definitely an evolution. It's definitely changed in people, but a lot of times, you know, probably half the time, people's mentality stay the same, and their personalities don't always change. So you might be more comfortable with somebody, you know, just growing up with them and knowing where they come from and knowing their background and stuff, versus just not knowing the fight at all.
Who wins that fight, Lane?
Tank. I got Tank.
How?
I don't know. I feel like Tank might break him down, work his way to a knockout, because Tank is great at breaking fighters down, you know, just punches his way into it, boxes his way into it.
Despite holding a world title, Lamont Roach hasn't gained widespread recognition among casual boxing fans. His lower profile has led some to believe Tank Davis selected him as an easy opponent. However, those who know Roach's career understand that he's far from an easy fight. His technical skills, defensive awareness, and steady improvements make him a dangerous underdog. Being underestimated can actually work in Roach's favor. Many great fighters have thrived in situations where they were overlooked, using it as motivation to prove their doubters wrong. With less pressure compared to Davis, Roach can focus purely on executing his game plan. Fighters who step into the ring with nothing to lose often give their best performances. Roach's hunger to make a name for himself could push him to new heights. If Davis underestimates him, Roach has potential to pull off an upset. The rematch gives him the perfect opportunity not only to settle the controversy from their first fight, but also to earn the respect and recognition he deserves.
Do you will come back to boxing?
Oh no. I'm not coming back to the sport of boxing. The sport of boxing was good to me. I was able to make a lot of smart investments on the outside, and I just want to help, you know, like I said, the fighters that's up and coming, you know, like I was talking about, like Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't understand why he's not in the top 10 pound for pound. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Benavidez. The list goes on. There's so many tough fighters out there. So many great young champions out there that I'm proud.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates, and we'll see you next time.